For people like us, interested in real estate and making some money in real estate, oftentimes there's an idea that comes out that sounds like it's a new thing, but it turns out that it's really not all that new. Co-living is one of those ideas. Co-living in real estate is basically adult dorm living. It's a business model where multiple unrelated people live in a fully furnished home. Each person rents a bedroom, and then they all end up sharing common areas such as kitchen, living room, dining room, and stuff like that. Sometimes they even pitch in and share for cleaning services. So now that we know what co-living is, what are some benefits? Why would a landlord choose to rent co-living versus just to a family that has few kids and it's just one family? First thing is cash flow. Obviously, if you split your house into 4 or 5 bedrooms and you charge each individual person for their bedroom, you can charge a tiny bit premium over regular rent. So when you combine those 5 bedrooms, if you charge extra $250, for that one individual person, it does add up. So you're going to get more cash flow. Another reason why you would want to choose to do co-living versus just renting it out would be just low vacancy, or the risk of vacancy is lower. What I'm trying to say is, if you have 4 people or 5 people living in your house, not all of them are going to move out at the same time. So basically, if somebody moves out, you still got 4 other people covering your mortgage. Another benefit of co-living is, in hot markets like Seattle, New York, San Francisco, the rents are so expensive. So there's a lot of people that are willing to do this option because they can't afford to have their own spot. So they choose to live with a bunch of people they don't even know because that's the only thing they can afford. So for you, there's a big pool of people that are going to want to rent from you. Now, like I said, more people want to rent, bigger cash flow, and also if somebody moves out, you end up having 4 other people still carrying over, and then they pay for your mortgage. So those are all the benefits of co-living. Now let's take a look at some negative sides of co-living, and there are quite a number of them. Like I said, this is not a new idea. This has been around forever. Any place that you hear that there's an automated system, self-managing, anything like that, that's complete garbage. You are not going to have a self-managing 5 people living in one spot. That's insane. There's no way in hell they're gonna self-manage. So if anybody tells you, oh, there's a program and it's, you just get this house and you throw these 5 people in there and you're done, that is complete garbage, because you're gonna have a ton of issues with these people. They're 5 people that don't even know each other. So imagine living with 5 people. It's gonna be hard for you to use the kitchen, use the bathroom. There's going to be a ton of issues that they're not going to deal with each other. They're going to call you and say, hey, I'm paying you a good amount of money. I need to use the kitchen when I need to use the kitchen. So my point is, there are definitely some downsides of co-living. One of the biggest downsides is the flip side of, hey, if one person goes out, the rest of them are going to cover my rent. Well, that person, yes, he got out and it covers your rent, but every month there's going to be one person moving out. It's just high turnover rate. People sometimes get into these co-living situations because they don't have any other choice. They kind of have to find a spot real quick, and then once they figure it out, nobody wants to live with 5 other people. Everybody tries to get their own spot. So out of those 5 people, every couple months, one of them is going to be like, well, I'm out. Another really big downside of having co-living is having to refinance. If you have to refinance, if you have a single family living in your house and they keep giving you checks and you give this check to the bank and you're like, look, for the last 18 months these people lived here, I really need to refinance, the bank is going to be like, okay, well, these look like stable tenants, you're making this much money, great, okay, we're going to give you a refinancing. But if they see that you have 5 or 6 people living in a spot right now, and over 18 months there was 38 of them living there, they might not like that model. They might just say, look, this is too unstable for us, and you might want to go find refinancing somewhere else. So that's a huge one that nobody really mentions. Another downside of co-living is you are going to have a bunch of unrelated people living in the same place. And some neighborhoods and some cities simply don't allow that. There are some zoning issues. So before you even buy a house and you have this intention of doing this, you should really check if this neighborhood fits and if this neighborhood will allow you to do this. It's not that easy to just come into a neighborhood. There might be, rules in the neighborhood, or the city might say, hey, you can only have certain amount of people living in the spot that are not related. Some of my family lives in Ithaca, New York, right by Cornell, and I was looking to buy another house over there just so I can have a spot when I'm over there. And the real estate agent told me, if you want to rent this out, there's a certain zoning or certain area where they don't let you do that. They'll let you like have 3 people, unrelated people living there in the same house. So my point is, just keep that in mind. There are rules in cities that only allow you certain number of people living that are unrelated. You can have 10 people if they're one big family, but unrelated people, there might be some limitations to that. And finally, look, if you have 7 people or 6 people living in your house, the wear and tear on the house is huge. You're gonna have all kinds of issues fixing stuff and repainting and doing all kinds of maintenance stuff that you may not have if you have one single family living there. So just keep that in mind. That's an expense that's on you that you're gonna have to take care of. So if there's something going on in the house, you will end up spending more money because you have 6 or 7 different people living there that are not related and they don't really give a crap, and nobody, oh, who damaged this? I don't know, Steve, Bob, I don't know who did it. So there are always going to be problems if you have more people living that are not related to each other. To wrap this thing up, while this sounds good on paper and the numbers kind of work, when you just look at them isolated, pretty soon, if you have 2 or 3 of these houses, pretty soon you're going to find out that you're running a hospitality business. You're not renting, you're basically running a hotel. And this is really hard to scale, like I said. So unless you're really willing to put in a team of people and put in a bunch of work on management, this is a good option, but you might want to choose to stick with a single family that you can directly deal with. And yes, you're going to get a little bit less money, but it's not going to be so much drama and so many problems happening at the same time for you. Just think about it. Everybody in the world could do co-living. Anybody that's renting a house could choose to do co-living. Just ask yourself, why don't they do it? It's because there's too much drama. So don't fall for it. It's all automated, or it's very easy, or you're getting so much more money because you got 5 people paying instead of 1 person. Well, all of that comes with a price. So if you want to do something, perhaps do one of these homes. Start with one. Don't think of scaling. Don't think of doing this many times before you try one and figure out how much actual work this is. Look, if you want to get something out of real estate, you have to add value, okay? If you have a piece of property and you want to make more money on it, you add another house, or you expand the house that already exists there, or you make a duplex, or whatever. In this case, in co-living, you're really not adding value by expanding the property. What you're doing is you're adding value with your patience, with management. That's literally the value that you're adding. To not see it like that is a mistake. The effort, the value that you're going to put into it is your patience and you managing these people. And for more cool and interesting and actually credible information about this real estate game and how to make some money and how to get some cash flow going, please check out some of my other videos.